You ready, Mr. Billy Black?
I was born ready.
Here we go. Who's Billy Black?
So Billy Black is this 24-year-old kid born in Homer Bay County, bro. Studying sound engineering right now in Cape Town. Just released an EP last year, working on my second EP. And just releasing music and just trying to be as inspiring as I can to the entire world, yeah.
Until hate came around and took over the world. Peace is what we used to be, until the army of war came around and sold us as slaves.
Damn, yeah. I think it's kind of working.
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
hope so. I hope so. That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Man, so we were in school together briefly for a while. And I think at that time there was so much going on around me. We never got a chance to kind of connect on a musical front.
Yeah. But you know, there's a time you played me a track. I don't know if you remember it.
Did I?
Yeah, we were in the music room and you were just playing me tracks after tracks after tracks.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, that does sound like me.
Yeah.
But that's awesome. But I've always known you're a songwriter, you're a performer, obviously, you're a composer.
Yeah.
And how long have you been doing this for?
I think approximately maybe. I can't remember when I wasn't singing, but songwriting specifically, I started maybe when I was about 12 or 13. Yeah, I remember being heartbroken and, you know, writing those words, penning down those emotions. Yeah, so I've been writing since I was young. I played the keys for a while, then got into an acoustic guitar because I can easily travel with it. I can go wherever I'm going, play music with it. So that's how the whole journey of songwriting began for me.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And is this something that, were you trained to do it, or is there somebody in your family maybe who's more of a muso and you kind of picked up on it?
That's a good question, because actually in the house we were always arguing about this. My mom and dad are always having arguments on who gave Billy the genes, you know. Because my mom says when I was young, when I was a kid, she used to make up songs for me.
Okay.
Like she used to sing me like you need to go to sleep, like I've fed you, I've done all this, just please just sleep so that I can also sleep. Then as she then I'm imagining young Billy Black being passed on to my dad. Then my dad is gently humming a tune maybe as I'm lying on his chest and hearing his heartbeat. And from the songwriting to the melody, then going to my dad who's giving me this rhythm and this beat to move along to. So I'm just assuming this thing was since I was a kid. I was destined for it, man.
Dude, you mentioned how heartbreak was like a significant step for you, and just like discovering songwriting process and how to, I guess, to use your emotion, like to tap into your emotions and to bring amazing pieces of music and creations to life. Can you tell me a bit about that? That dark space and how you kind of overcame that?
When I was young, it was just, you know, when you're young and you just love this girl, it was just like being young then. As much as it helped me be able to understand this songwriting process. But now I've grown older. A few years later, Billy Black is now in Cape Town, man. He's on his own. His mom and dad are home. He's struggling with his school, personal relationships. And beginning of this year, I actually had a terrible experience. So I was driving back from my upcountry, and I drove for maybe about 7 hours. Then I got home, and I got the doctors call it extreme, like spasmodic muscle reaction. So it's like your nerves are twitching like this, and they're pressing onto it. They're pressing onto your nerves, so you're constantly in pain and you're constantly twitching like this. And it got me so bad. I was in a situation where I couldn't walk anymore on my leg. And you know, I'm the only son. And you know how Africa the culture is like.
I'm an only child, but I understand what it's like to have that pressure.
So and my sister had just gotten married, and everyone was just like, no, you know, you're gonna have to take care of your parents, this. And even as I was driving, my dad kept on asking me, you want to switch? But I'm like, no, this, I got this, man, I got this. But I got into a situation where I felt so helpless. Because now I'm lying on the seat and I want to do something, but now I have to call my dad, man. I have to be like, yo, could you please come help me go through, help me do this or this. Now I went back to Cape Town actually, and it came back again because I went through physiotherapy and got better. But now when I was in Cape Town, it came back again. Now I'm alone, man. Now I'm alone in my house and going all through this. And I remember calling one of my friends, and he told me just to keep myself busy. Because you know, the more you think about it and wallow about being in this low hopelessness, the more it like eats on you, the more you just continue going deeper and deeper, it gets darker and darker. So I started a project, man, and the project is going to be, it's a self-titled project, and it's just basically discussing a lot to do with mental health, of how I see it, because I can't say I was depressed, but I'm someone who, when I come into the room, I want to see people happy, I want to laugh with guys, you know, just make a joke. But now being in a situation where you have to pretend, or you don't want to go because, you know, when Matthew sees you, he's expecting you to be in a good mood, and you just can't be like, all sad and everything. So the whole project is about mental health and discussing how I overcame or how I got through it, be it through just working hard as a person or believing in God at the same time as well, and believing in a greater power that there's something greater out there, someone else is able to help me, whether it's God, whether it's my father, whether it's a friend and stuff like that. So the project is a very, very close and personal project to me.
That's powerful, man. And I guess sometimes it does take being in a super dark space, and then that just like the urgency of being like, am I gonna totally give up?
Interesting stories. I sent one of the tracks to a videographer today, and he was just like, yo, are you sure you want to talk about this? No. And I was like, I think so. Because he was telling me to change maybe a line, but for me it's some sort of letting go in a way.
That's amazing. And actually, and I also understand completely in the African setting how it's like, particularly as a son, how it can be some sort of embarrassment if you haven't got your stuff right by a certain age. Like there's this perception you're supposed to have everything in control. So big up to yourself for pulling through that.
Misters, preachers and men, preach it as loud as you can. Take this message round and let them know that love says he's coming back again.
So now you're on the southern tip of the continent. What's a day in the life basically of Billy Black while you're in school and just in Cape Town?
In school, I'm mostly, it's a bit hectic sometimes, but I'm always pushing through to ensure, because I want to study and be the best. Not so that I can stay there, but so that I can come back home. Because like, if you see, knowing that we both know how the industry is right now, it's like growing. And at any moment right now, the Kenyan industry is just gonna explode, and it's just gonna be crazy. So for me, when I'm studying my sound, I'm constantly thinking of how can I better myself, not so that I can be the best, but so that I can also help someone else who's not able to be in a position I'm in. Because there's so many people who definitely want to be able to go and study sound engineering or be in a position where they can have the amazing facilities that are there. But one thing I've also learned while I'm in SA is that the professionalism and how things should be done really well. It's really inspiring to see that there are people out there just like me, just like you, who are actually just as hungry and are just chasing their dreams even harder than you. It's just mind-blowing when you get to experience such stuff here. And it's just a new environment, because now you have to learn how to make that stew that your mom is always making at home. You're like, hey, what do you usually add when you're making this? So it's a very interesting experience. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but it's a good opportunity anyway.
That's amazing.
I'm grateful about it.
That's so cool. I always make a joke that if I was to live by myself, even when I was abroad for a little bit, I starved. Me and my guy I haven't cooked. Besides the basics, but it's cool to see that you took on the challenge. You want a little taste of home wherever you are.
Definitely.
Bro, you touched on as well how the process of just refining yourself. You got to Cape Town, you met people who are really into their thing. Similarly, I saw that I was exposed to that kind of hunger in LA. People younger than me just really refining themselves, and I think that's something that it's a message I'm trying to pass on to a lot of young upcoming artists here as well.
Definitely.
But just for you generally, how important do you think it is for one to master their craft? Because it's only that way that you really can then move on to the next level. You know, there's a quote that says, if you want a higher standard of life, or you want the next chapter of life, you gotta have bigger problems. You want a better life, you have to have more complicated problems. So just the process of refinement generally, how important is it as an artist in today's world, instead of just trying to go mainstream? You're just
that's, you see, the problem is I always tell my friends, I actually do some songwriting classes once in a while. I go to teach in one of the institutions here in Nairobi, and I was telling them, the rappers there, like, you need to refine yourself. You need to understand, first of all, what are you about? What are you talking about? Like, I have a song called Sundays in Nairobi.
I love it.
Like, there's no other person in the world who's gonna write a song called Sundays. Chris Brown will never write a song called Sundays in Nairobi, you see. And once we realize that what we have is right here with us, and we can refine our sound, we can refine our skill as a guitarist, as a songwriter, even as videographers, the creative industry, we need to give them a taste of Africa, man. You can't be rapping about throwing dollars. And you don't have dollars, man. I won't relate to that music, for sure. You won't relate to that music, you see. But if you're writing something that is genuine, something that is so organic that no one will come and say, this sounds like Teo, man, I can't listen to this, you see. We have to realize that you have to master your skill. And once you master your skill, that then allows you, or gives you the freedom, because once you master that, you can play the guitar well, for example. You now have the freedom of moving from whatever side of the instrument, whatever melody, whatever chord you want to play, you are able to play it, man. So if we are able to master our skill, master this craft, trust me, like, things are gonna change, and we'll be able to inspire so many people, not in Africa, but outside of Africa, man.
That's amazing, actually. Like, we were at this, we had the cocktail evening yesterday with John Couch, and that's the one thing that he really, he said to me, is like, the one thing about the company, the reason why we're ahead is because we don't focus on the so-called competition. We just know what we want to do. We want to know the impact that we want to have on the world, and we do it. We don't stop until we get there.
Exactly. I remember even you told me that yesterday, because we were discussing about music and the career. And sometimes you're like, man, I need to. You're looking at the other side, but you're not realizing that you can easily grow what you have, and it's right in front of you, and make something. And these are the guys. You remember you saying, these guys, let them jump on, let them find you, let them join you. Don't be in a rush to go join them. Be like, where are you guys going? And you don't even know where they're going. Let them wait. Let them see and wonder, what's this all about? When they finally figure it out, they're the ones who are to join you, not you jumping.
I love it. I love it, dude. What have been some of the best moments for you, like, that have made this whole process worth it? That made you fight to overcome the mental health challenge, just, general depression, self-doubt, all that kind of stuff. What have been the best moments that have been like, damn it, I knew this was worth it?
The best moments is, it's not even to do with the music, man. For me, it's family, man. Just when someone is checking up on you and asking you, how are you doing? And someone is telling you, Matthew, I know you're going through this, but I know you'll get through it, man. And that, for me, like, family for me is what really helped me. As much as the music is what is my avenue of getting out all this, whatever I'm going through, whatever I'm feeling. But family for me is like, is my comfort. It's like where I can go and feel I'm at ease, man. Whatever you're going through, whatever. So those moments when you feel so, like, helpless, but then you realize that there's someone out there who's looking out for you, man. For me, those moments have just been so special to me, knowing that I can depend on this person or that.
That's amazing. It's the little things sometimes they say, and it gets you to be around a whole lot of other nonsense extras to realize that no, it's the little things that matter.
The little things that count, man.
Wow.
Don't only preach it through your words, use your actions too. Take this message round and let them know I am says he's coming back again.
Tell me a bit more about this EP. You said there's one EP that's on the way, it should be out this year, and then there's another one, which is an album. Now the one coming next year.
Next year album,
It'll be an album. Tell me a bit about that.
So I dropped out of uni twice.
Me too.
Interesting fact.
High five.
Twice.
Yeah.
Twice.
2 unis. Yeah. I saw.
But so I dropped out of uni twice, and when I joined uni the third time, I decided to challenge myself. I said, for every year I'll be releasing an EP. When people hear you dropped out of uni, they think you're just a lost case. I want to prove this guy's wrong, you see. So apart from being able to finish my degree, which anyone can finish the degree, everyone can. But how many people, apart from finishing the degree, are able to not only write, because I'm writing the songs myself, I'm recording them either in the studios or my setup at home in Cape Town, or even here, or even when I'm flying back. Like I was working on something on my way back here. And
dope.
And all this, so I wanted to release my first EP, which was about my country, which was a more of a general EP.
Yeah.
The second EP is more personal.
And don't you know that we are one? Living from the breath he put through Adam's lips. So anytime you kill another, just know you've killed one of us.
Actually, my biggest challenge when I'm in Cape Town is a very interesting one. That I'm someone who enjoys conversing with everyone, and when I'm in the street, I don't mind saying hi to the watchman. I enjoy that. And the hardest challenge I'm facing is when I'm in Cape Town. When they see me, they'll be like, "Hey, Molo Puti," and I'll be like, "Mzuri, Mzuri son," because I don't understand what they're saying, and that's one of the challenges. But the aspect of being able to do something great with your, living a life of purpose, actually. The same thing we've been talking about, like people, like our millennials, like are dying, like the youth are dying. Not even physically, but you just find someone who has no purpose, man. So when I've gone to SA, I've seen that so many of the youth, they don't really know the direction that they're going to. They don't know what they're doing and stuff like that. So that has even challenged me to actually be someone who wants to live a life of purpose, so that I can inspire the people who I meet there. Well, not only there, but anywhere, man.
Anywhere. I think it'll rub off anyone that comes into contact with
And
you.
in terms of the project itself, people ask me, when you ask someone, why do you sing? And they say, oh, I love singing, I enjoy singing. I usually tell people, for me, this process of singing and songwriting is more of a need. They say there are 3 basic needs, like shelter, food, clothing. Like for me, like shelter, food, clothing, songwriting. This whole EP is a way of me just getting out my thoughts, saying what I feel, and just some sort of therapy for me as well.
And can't you see that we're in need of help that only comes from up above? So Cinnamon, get down on your knees, 'cause we're in real big trouble.
The physical manifestation of that EP, would you consider that a success, or what does success look like to Billy Black?
As far as music is concerned, I'm definitely, for me, because the message is so personal to me, I'm just not putting the music out there for the sake of it. I'd really want someone out there to be inspired. For me, success won't be the next day. Success for this EP might come 10 years later, when I'm somewhere in Uganda or Zimbabwe and someone comes and tells me, you remember the song you released like in 2018, when you said this, that song has impacted my life in such a huge way. And one thing I've also learned from my experience, I might be wrong, I don't think you can ever get to a success. I don't think you can be like, okay, I'm here. I'm sorted, man, like I'm satisfied now. I don't think I'll be able to get to a space where I'm saying, okay, now I'm successful. For me, it's like the whole journey, the whole process is so vital that I'm scared of focusing on the other stuff, because it might just derail me from what I'm trying to do, what I'm trying to achieve at this exact moment, which is now, man, which is the present time. In terms of success for the project itself, it's for me to be able to definitely amass a greater following than I have right now in terms of the people who know or who've heard about Billy Black. I definitely want to reach out to more people, not only in my country, Kenya, but also in South Africa and the rest of the world, man.
Amazing.
Yeah.
No, I resonate with all that.
Yeah.
So, I wanted to take us into the future a little bit, this time travel. 20 years from now, where does Billy Black see himself?
20 years is a long time, eh? So, in 20 years, I have, there's so much I want to do, but the main thing is to achieve my purpose anyway. But I'm currently...
Which is
to impact the world, man, through music, of course, yeah.
Powerful.
Actually, I usually have a line that I usually say, that it's to inspire the world and save a soul while at it. Yeah. So in the next 20 years, I'm actually doing bee farming right now. I'm keeping bees with my dad. I actually wanted to bring you some honey, but we sold them all, I'm sorry. bring you some next time.
Please.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to be a bee farmer in the next 20 years.
Okay.
I'm going to be selling honey and stuff. I'm going to be, I want to be the next African Hans Zimmer. Yeah. Or I want someone in America to say he wants to be the next American Billy Black. You get it?
Yep.
Yeah. Instead of So I wanna. That's one thing. So I wanna score films. I wanna actually. I'm planning on. I'm generating my catalog of music.
Yeah.
Such that filmmakers in Kenya, in East Africa and Africa can have sound that is nowhere else.
Yeah.
Just that we have our own, apart from because filmmakers are growing, man, and they're doing amazing jobs. But I feel like we're not giving them like songs. We're not giving them like the best catalog of music that is purely African, like proper African. Like you can hear a song with the tarab, the tarab, or you can hear the Maasai chants or stuff like that. You see, so that's one thing I want to do. Scoring for film is one thing I want to do, and definitely just hopefully have a world tour. Or 2 or 3 or 4, or as many as I can.
Exactly.
Yeah, because that's the way I can be able to inspire people, man. Through my music, that's a gift. That's a gift I believe God has given me to use. So I definitely want to use it. Like I want to squeeze out all the juice out of this, all I've been given to do. Yeah.
Well, more power to you. More power to the indie artist.
Yeah.
Guys, that's Billy Black. Watch this space. I'm telling you. Asante, bro.
Yeah. Thanks so much, man.
Solid.
Always a pleasure.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Let's take that selfie, man.